You ever read a company's mission statement? You know, the one full of these really inspiring words about community and sustainability. And then you're kind of stop and wonder, is this for real? Well, that disconnect, that chasm between what a company says it will do and what it actually does, that's what we're diving into today. It's called the say-do gap, and it's this massive credibility test that can make or break a modern business. So let's start with a big question. What actually makes a company good? Is it just about making a ton of money, or is there something more to it? Look, we all have our own opinions, right? But to really break this down, we need a solid framework to figure out what being a good corporate citizen truly means.
And to get to the bottom of that, we first have to understand what an ideal company even looks like. So we're going to start with a classic model that gives us a really clear standard to measure any company's actions against. And that model is built around this really powerful idea called corporate social responsibility, or CSR for short. The easiest way to think about it is like this. It's a company's promise to hold itself accountable, not just to its investors, but to its employees, its customers, and, the public. It's all about looking beyond just the bottom line. The whole structure of CSR is often shown as a pyramid, Carroll's pyramid. It's basically a hierarchy of responsibilities. Right at the bottom, the absolute foundation, is economic responsibility. A company has to be profitable to even exist, right? Makes sense. The next level up is legal. You gotta obey the law. Simple enough. Then we get to ethical responsibility. This is about doing what's right and fair, even if the law doesn't make you. And way up at the top, the peak of the pyramid, is philanthropic responsibility, being a good corporate citizen, actively giving back and trying to make society better. Okay. So now that we have this ideal pyramid in our heads, let's put it to the test. We're going to apply this exact framework to a real-world company called Merceh, and we're going to see how well their promises actually line up with what they do day to day. First things first, let's look at what Merceh tells the world. Every company with a real CSR strategy puts out a statement about what they stand for. This is their official pledge, and it's the perfect place for us to start our investigation. So Merceh has built its whole CSR promise on 4 main pillars. First, the quality and honesty of their content. Second, the work environment they create. Third, how they deal with everyone from their suppliers to their readers. And fourth, their commitment to society and the planet. On paper, it looks pretty solid. Let's zoom in on that first pillar, content. They straight up promise to be a source of truth. I mean, in this day and age, with so much misinformation flying around, promising trustworthy and original content isn't just a nice goal. It's a huge, incredibly important commitment to your audience. And their environmental promise? It's just as direct. They aren't just saying they'll be green in some vague way. No, they're committing to specific things we can measure, like avoiding resources we can't replace and actively cutting their emissions. So this is the public face of Merceh. Now, let's see what's really going on behind the curtain. Okay, so we've got the ideal CSR pyramid on one hand, and we've got Merceh's public promises on the other. The next logical step is to put that promise up against the daily reality of their business. And this, my friends, is where we often find that say-do gap. And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's one thing to write a beautiful, inspiring CSR statement. It's a whole other challenge to actually live up to it, especially when things like profit margins and market pressures start knocking on the door. The first cracks start to show in 2 really important areas. Remember those promises about sustainability and supporting their employees? Well, the source material points to a real disconnect. On the environmental side, their main operations seem to clash with their green goals. And when it comes to their people, that promise of a supportive community gets, complicated because of how their business is structured. Let's start with a number that's pretty hard to ignore. 1,390,000 kilowatt hours. That is the massive amount of energy that Merceh's own in-house printing and distribution hub eats up. This one operation flies directly in the face of their goal to reduce emissions, creating a huge gap between their green ambitions and their carbon-heavy reality. So what about that supportive environment for their workers? The thing is, this industry is shrinking, which forces companies to cut costs wherever they can. For Merceh, that means relying heavily on freelance authors. And while these writers are absolutely essential, they often don't get the job security, the benefits, or the development opportunities that the company promises to its core community. It basically creates a 2-tiered system. All right, the next set of conflicts hits right at the heart of their business, the integrity of their content versus the economic pressures they're under.
This is that classic dilemma where the ethical need to be truthful, sitting way up high on Carroll's pyramid, clashes head-on with that foundational need to stay profitable.
I mean, just put yourself in the writer's shoes for a second. The market for print is declining, so the pressure to churn out content faster and cheaper is just immense. That kind of pressure creates a huge risk that authors might cut corners, which can lead to plagiarism or just plain inaccurate reporting. And that directly threatens Mercer's biggest promise of trustworthy and original content. Their economic reality is creating a serious ethical problem.
Now, it's pretty easy to sit here and point out all these gaps. The real challenge, though, is figuring out how to actually fix them. But these conflicts don't have to be a dead end. They can be a real opportunity for change. So for our final section, let's explore how Merceh could actually start to bridge its own credibility gap. The path forward really means tackling these issues head-on. It looks like there's a clear four-part approach Merceh could take: get serious about their environmental footprint, rebuild their relationship with authors, put stronger rules in place to protect their content, and really lean into digital innovation to build a more sustainable business. First up, the environment. Instead of running that massive physical printing hub, they could speed up the shift to digital formats. That would slash their paper use and their carbon footprint from transportation. And for whatever printing is left, they could invest in renewable energy to power their facilities. Second, they can invest in their people. To really live up to that community culture promise, Merceh could formalize how they work with their freelance authors. Maybe that means offering more stable contracts or even including them in professional development programs. This isn't just the right thing to do, it's a smart business move that would almost certainly raise the quality of their content. Third, they need to beef up their internal rules. Merceh already has a risk committee, so they could empower that very team to be the guardians of their content, to specifically check articles for accuracy, for plagiarism, and for misinformation before anything gets published. It's like building a firewall to protect their most valuable asset, their integrity. And finally, innovation. To balance making money with their mission to enhance readers' lives, they can pour resources into their digital platform. By offering better free content or more cool, interactive features, they can build a loyal online community and create new ways to make money that don't force them to compromise their ethics. And that brings us right back to our final question. Merceh, just like so many companies out there, is standing at a crossroads. They have the vision, and they have a clear path to get their actions to line up with their words. But closing that say-do gap takes more than just some strategies on a slide. It takes real, ongoing commitment. The ultimate question isn't just about what Merceh will do, but about what we, as consumers, as citizens, should demand from any company that asks for our business and our trust.